Greetings Space Marines, FiOth here, and today we finally got the much coveted patch for the game on the 26th of September. In case you're watching later, this is the actual date of the patch's release. It's a whopping 15 GB on the PlayStation, so I can imagine it will be even larger on the Xbox and about the same size or a bit larger on the PC. There is a ton of stuff to go through, so I will not waste any more of your time. I will be reading through the notes and relaying my thoughts on the matter. Without further ado, let's get to it. For the new features, we knew it was coming. It states the Hub Sparring Arena, a new special arena on the battle bars available in Operations and Internal War game mode, where players can compete in friendly PvP with players in their squad. Ultra-wide support for PC, private mode for Operations mode that gives the ability to play Operations alone or with bots alongside one friend without being match-made with any random players. This is great, especially for people who wanna go in and do solo runs. Added what's new and message of the date, in-game updates to know what's gonna happen to the game instead of having to look it on Twitter. No, I'm not gonna call it X. Elon can just boil in his juices. Added option to reset custom color presets. This is a very nice one because if you made a mistake and clicked on creating a custom loadout for your color palette, you were stuck with it on your menu, you couldn't get rid of it. So this is just quality of life, but the other 4 bullet points are super important because we'll know in game what's happening, able to spar with our friends, ultra-wide support, and of course the ability to have private lobbies is huge for the health of the game. Gameplay and balancing tweaks. The matchmaking tool has been updated, improved responsiveness and combat social wheel control with the mouse, disable unnecessary objects that do not require highlighting and work poorly with it, several minor bug fixes. The power fist damage of a fully charged attack has been greatly increased, heavy plasma, base ammo increased by 5, blast damage rate is increased, overheat per shot drastically decreases from 50 to 30 for charged shots and from 20 to 15 for base shooting. Base damage slightly increased by 10%, I wouldn't say slightly, 10% is pretty much all the bonuses we get incrementally in the perk tree of the weapons. Those will have to be addressed because they're very inconsequential and don't really allow for much player explosion. Med stims restore contested health in addition to actual healing, this is great. Aux grenade launcher ammo now can be refilled only with ammo boxes and cannot be refilled from the infinite ammo cache. This is the underslung grenade launcher for the bolt rifle when certain classes are using it and pick a specific configuration, and now you cannot just refill them spammingly. I do not yet know if you can refill it by refilling ordnance using the tacticals perk, because that was extremely abusable as well. I'll have to go in and do some testing, I didn't have time yet, but if they indeed change this and the tactical cannot refill this ordnance with their perk, this is a huge hit to the class and probably a little detrimental to their overall performance. Now let's go into campaign rebalancing. Difficulty. Enemy aggressiveness on veteran difficulty of the campaign decreased for a better single player experience. This is kinda okay because it was veering a bit towards being overly difficult for people who didn't want to play normal right away. Players' health on veteran difficulty in campaign is slightly reduced to compensate for AI aggressiveness and armor management upgrades. Okay, bots. Various inhibiting reactions were lifted, allowing bots to be more helpful and effective while still not beating the game for the player. I thought the bots were just fine, they did just enough, revived you if push came to shove. Pretty competent, they were just fine, but apparently they wanted to make them a bit finer, so it's all good. Bots will now help focus firing zones once the player attacks them, very good. Heavily eased restriction to bots finishing off enemies instead of leaving them for the player to reduce annoyance. Bots are now allowed to help with gargoyle objectives, fix a variety of bugs related to bots getting stuck, fix a bug where bots can run out of ammo on weapons without a magazine. All good stuff, just a little tweaking, not necessarily needed, but it's good that they're paying attention and trying to help people who don't play with others who play solo through the campaign. Now my favorite part, Ops mode. Tweaked AI directed to spawn rules of chaos enemies in operation mode. This was sorely needed, let's see exactly what they did. Max number of jungles with shield on the arena at the same time reduced from 10 to 4, super drastic. Max number of cultist sniper in the arena reduced from 10 to 3, super drastic. Max number of jaggers in the arena at the same time reduced from 30 to 20, super drastic. Max numbers of Rubik Marines with bolt against the arena at the same time reduced from 8 to 5, again super drastic. Max number of Rubik Marines with Warp Flamers in the arena at the same time reduced from 4 to 3, not as drastic but still quite substantial. And I'm gonna stay here for just one moment to say what they need to do with the Chaos Marines is insert a timer that will dictate how often they can teleport. It is a headache to fight them, it's not challenging and it is not fun, it is plain broken. They can be anywhere they want at any moment they want, and this does not allow for strategic planning. This is kind of a clusterfuck, needs to be addressed. Thank you very much. Perfect Parry has been updated, now restores armor on killing Minoris, not only for countering their special attacks. This is great for sustaining combat. Regarding block and fencing weapons, a bug has been fixed for Perfect Parry window for fencing weapons. Now it has 20 frames window for perfectly parrying and 10 frames of vulnerability at the end of the animation, instead of 30 frames of perfect parry for full animation as it was intended originally. So this is good. Probably gonna make the situation a little bit more challenging, but it's great. Assault class, base ground pound damage increased by 30%, fantastic. Armor boost drops from destructible crates are now less common. Cooldown raised from 30 to 60 seconds. Quite good. I don't really care about the ammo boosters, they're kinda obsolete anyway as armor stands right now. But what we read about the composition of enemy formations and the overall effectiveness specific of our tools is great stuff, and I stand behind every single decision made here. Small PvP tinker for the people who care about this. Improved player spawn system, it should make spawn killing more difficult, very important for those actually playing. Reworked Vanguard's grapple launcher in PvP, instead of a full stun it will now stagger enemies and will slow them down drastically. Very good, because from what I've been reading, Vanguard is a very annoying class to play against in PvP. AI, this is probably the most important page for the entire update, because the things done here prove that Saber is listening. Reduce the ability to stun lock enemies with ranged attack across all AI characters. Accuracy of ranged enemies is reduced when attacking from off screen, and accuracy of ranged enemies is reduced when attacking melee engaged players. This is a game changer, making combat much cleaner. We exclusively play Ruthless on the streams, and there were moments where we were just scratching our heads wondering how the hell this was the intended effect, getting peppered from all directions. Regarding Hormagaunts and Zangors, melee damage now deals a specific amount of damage instead of removing one complete armor segments per attack. Also great. Zoanthrope, increased psychic scream damage, sparsing time from 0.5 seconds to 2 seconds to prevent one shot. This pretty much means that when it screams, if you are close, you have time to move away, because damage comes in more incrementally instead of a huge burst of damage that can down you in one go on Ruthless. Psychic scream damage reduced from 11 to 8. Psychic Scream effective range reduced from 50 to 40. Psychic Scream cast range is reduced by 10 meters. Good stuff. Termagant. Flesh Boner spray attack damage reduced from 1 to 0.5. Flash Boner spray attack damage reduced from 0.3 to 0.1. Tyrannid Warrior with Devour projectile damage reduced from 0.9 to 0.6 per projectile. Rubik Marine Warp Flamer. Icon of Flame damage reduced from 9 to 6, Flame Burst damage reduced from 6 to 4 per shot, Flamer shooting damage reduced from 6 to 4 per projectile, health reduced by 10%. The big one! Rubik Marine with Bolt Gun, spray attack damage reduced from 1.5 to 1, Pierce shot attack with the indicator damage reduced from 4 to 2, reduce the frequency of teleports used to disengage players to make them less annoying to fight, health reduced by 10%. This is freaking amazing, man! They just made the most annoying enemy to fight that much more enjoyable to battle against. Jungler with shield HP greatly reduced. This is awesome because using a hammer in the Warhammer universe and striking a little piece of shit with a minuscule shield and not killing it outright is nonsense. This guy needs to go down much faster, and now this will be possible. Carnifex, Rage Face updated, Carnifex becomes faster and more aggressive, taunt frequency reduced, fixed the bug where his cone of thorns attack wouldn't fire projectiles. The Carnifex in general was very buggy, sometimes it would just stand there and get destroyed, so now it should work as intended. And Hive Tyrant, health slightly increased and resistance to explosives and melta weapons increased by 20%. This was needed because if you had a couple of melta bombs or crack grenades, you could just erase this boss even on Ruthless, and it didn't make much sense. Good stuff. Customization. Fixed icon color for the Administration Grey, Auric Armor Gold and Celestial Grey colors. Fixed several issues with default colors being wrong on the same chapter, for example the Iron Warriors. Vanguard Relic Right Grief part now requires 29 victories instead of 36. Added a color pattern called Grief's pattern, allowing the player to customize bottom and top half of the leg separately. Very good stuff for customization. It's all about the blink. Maps. Fixed several issues that were preventing players from progressing with some levels. Fixed a lot of Myron collision issues. There is a lot of collision stuff going around that needs to be cleaned up, that's true. Tweak dust storm density and duration in ballistic engine operation. Thank the Emperor. Tweak Helldrake fire timings on the bridge to recuperate operation. This is good because sometimes it fires as you're dropping from the ledge and can pretty much destroy the entire team. Trials can now be accessed via Hypnomat in Armory. This is good for accessibility. Some people couldn't wrap their heads around how you could get into operations without triggering the matchmaking process. There are general fixes below that you can just pause the vid here to read. No sense wasting your time to read them out loud. I am very happy with this patch, guys. We will be testing it extensively on Friday. It's all great stuff. It proves that the developer is listening to the community. One thing that I would love Saber to do would be to take all the missions from the campaign and make them operation accessible, or at least give us a way to choose classes as we're playing the campaign to progress weapons and level them and all that good stuff. Right now replaying the campaign makes zero sense. There is literally nothing to do in it. It's just the spectacle and the story bits, and if they added the leveling process to the campaign, it would make it that much more viable. This is all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, leave a comment telling me what you would like to do, and I'll see you on the next stream. Until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!